What if I told you that the secret to living to 100 isn't hidden in some expensive supplement, a complicated diet plan, or a miracle pill, but in simple foods that people in Japan eat every single day without even thinking twice about it? Imagine waking up in your 80s or even your 90s with energy, clarity, and strength, still walking, still laughing, still enjoying life without constant pain or dependence on medication. Sounds impossible, right? But it's not. In fact, it's already happening. Japan has one of the highest life expectancies in the world, and their doctors have been quietly emphasizing a powerful truth for years. Longevity isn't about doing extreme things, it's about doing small things consistently, especially when it comes to what you eat daily. And today, I'm going to share with you the exact foods Japanese doctors say you should be eating every single day if you truly want to give your body a chance to live longer, stronger, and healthier. Now, before we dive in, I want you to think about your current eating habits. Not what you eat on your good days, but what you eat on your good days, but what you eat most of the time. Because that's what shapes your future. That's what determines whether your body thrives or slowly breaks down. And the truth is, many people don't realize that the damage doesn't come all at once. It builds silently over years, until one day it shows up as fatigue, weight gain, joint pain, heart issues, or worse. But the good news is, your body is incredibly forgiving, and with the right daily foods, you can actually slow down aging, protect your organs, and even feel younger again. Let's start with something simple, something you might have heard of but probably underestimated: green tea. In Japan, this isn't just a drink, it's a daily ritual. Morning, afternoon, sometimes even evening, and there's a reason for that. Green tea is packed with powerful antioxidants that fight damage inside your body at a cellular level. Think of it like a shield, protecting your cells from aging too fast. It supports your heart, helps your brain stay sharp, and even boosts metabolism in a gentle, natural way. And the best part is, it's not something you take once in a while. It works because it's consistent. One cup won't change your life, but drinking it daily over years absolutely can. Now let's talk about something even more interesting: fermented foods. This is where things start to get really powerful. In Japan, foods like miso, entat, and pickled vegetables are part of everyday meals. And here's why that matters. Your gut is not just about digestion. It's actually connected to your immune system, your mood, even your brain health. When your gut is healthy, your whole body works better. Fermented foods are full of good bacteria that feed your gut and keep it balanced. Without them, your system slowly weakens. You might not notice it at first, but over time it shows up as bloating, low energy, frequent illness, or inflammation. Adding even a small portion of fermented food daily can completely change how your body feels from the inside out. Now here's a food that might surprise you: fish. Not just any fish, but fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. In Japan, fish is eaten regularly, sometimes even daily, and this plays a huge role in their long life expectancy. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for your heart and brain. They help reduce inflammation, lower the risk of heart disease, and keep your mind sharp as you age. Think about it: how many people struggle with memory loss, brain fog, or heart issues later in life? Now imagine reducing that risk just by changing what's on your plate a few times a week. That's the power of these simple foods. And then there's something even simpler: rice, but not the way most people think of it. In Japan, rice isn't overloaded with oils, sauces, or heavy toppings. It's clean, simple, and balanced with other foods. It provides steady energy without overwhelming your system. It's not about cutting carbs completely, it's about choosing the right kind and eating them in the right way. When combined with vegetables and proteins, it becomes part of a balanced meal that fuels your body instead of harming it. Now let's slow down for a second and talk about vegetables. Not just any vegetables, but a wide variety. In Japanese culture, meals often include multiple small portions of different vegetables. This means the body gets a wide range of nutrients, instead of relying on just one or two sources. Seaweed, for example, is something many people ignore, but it's incredibly rich in minerals that support thyroid function and overall health. Then there are leafy greens, root vegetables, and seasonal produce, but all working together to nourish the body in a natural way. It's not about eating a huge plate of one thing, it's about diversity. Small amounts, many types, every day. And here's something most people completely overlook: portion control. In Japan, people don't typically eat until they feel stuffed. There's a concept of eating until you're about 80% full. This simple habit alone can reduce stress on your body, improve digestion, and prevent weight gain over time. Think about how often people eat out of habit, boredom, or emotion, not because they're actually hungry. Over time, that adds up. But when you eat mindfully, when you stop before you're completely full, your body has a chance to function properly instead of constantly being overloaded. Now let's talk about soy-based foods. Tofu, for example, is a staple in many Japanese meals. It's a great source of plant-based protein and contains compounds that may help protect against certain diseases. Unlike heavily processed meats, it's light, easy to digest, and supports overall health without putting stress on your system. It's another example of how simple, natural foods can make a big difference when eaten consistently. But here's the thing, it's not just about individual foods, it's about the pattern, the daily routine, the consistency. Japanese doctors don't focus on quick fixes or extreme diets. They focus on sustainable habits, eating real food in moderate portions every single day. That's what creates long-term results. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine yourself 20, 30, even 40 years from now. How do you want to feel? Do you want to rely on medication just to get through the day? Or do you want to wake up with energy, move freely, and enjoy life without constant discomfort? Because the choices you make today, especially what you eat daily, are quietly shaping that future. And I know what you might be thinking. Changing your diet sounds hard. It feels overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start small. Add 1 cup of green tea. Include 1 serving of vegetables. Swap one unhealthy meal for something cleaner. These small steps might not feel like much at first, but over time they build momentum, and that momentum can completely transform your health. There's also something else that's important to understand. Japanese people don't just eat differently, they live differently. Meals are often slower, more mindful, more social. This reduces stress, which plays a huge role in aging. Chronic stress damages your body in ways most people don't even realize. It affects your heart, your brain, your immune system. But when you slow down, when you enjoy your meals, when you give your body time to process, everything works better. And let's not forget hydration. Drinking enough water is something so basic, yet so many people ignore it. In Japan, people often drink water or tea throughout the day, keeping their bodies hydrated and functioning properly. Dehydration, even mild, can lead to fatigue, headaches, and poor concentration. Over time, it adds unnecessary strain on your system. Now here's something powerful. Longevity isn't about avoiding death. It's about improving the quality of your life while you're here. Living longer doesn't mean much if those extra years are filled with pain, illness, or limitation. But when your body is strong, when your mind is clear, when your mind is clear, when you feel good day after day, that's when life truly becomes something to enjoy. So as you finish watching this, I want you to take a moment and reflect. What's one small change you can make today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Maybe it's choosing tea instead of soda. Maybe it's adding vegetables to your meal. Maybe it's simply eating a little less and paying more attention to how your body feels. Because the truth is, the path to living to 100 isn't built on big, dramatic actions. It's built on small, consistent choices. And the sooner you start, the more powerful those choices become. Your future self is being shaped right now by what you eat, how you live, and the habits you repeat every single day. So choose wisely, start simple, stay consistent. And who knows, maybe one day, you won't just be living longer, you'll be living better than you ever thought possible. Most people believe that living a long and healthy life requires something extreme, something complicated or something extreme, something complicated or something expensive. But the truth is much simpler and far more powerful than that, because longevity is not built on sudden changes or short-term efforts. It is built on small daily habits that quietly shape your body over time in ways you don't immediately notice, but eventually feel in everything you do. When you look at people who live the longest, especially in places like Japan, you don't see strict dieting or constant obsession with food rules. Instead, you see consistency, balance, and simple choices repeated every single day without stress or pressure. They don't rely on miracle supplements or quick fixes because they understand that the body responds best to steady care, not occasional bursts of effort followed by neglect. Think about how most people approach health, followed by neglect. Think about how most people approach health. They try something new for a few days or weeks, maybe a strict diet or a heavy workout routine, and then slowly fall back into old habits because it feels too difficult to maintain. And this cycle repeats again and again without producing real long term results. But small daily habits work differently because they are easy to maintain, they don't feel overwhelming, and they become part of your normal routine without requiring constant motivation. Drinking a cup of green tea each day may seem insignificant at first. Adding a portion of vegetables to your meals might not feel like a big change, and choosing simple natural foods over processed ones may not give instant visible results, but over time, these small actions begin to build a strong foundation inside your body. Your cells are constantly renewing, your organs are constantly working, and your systems are always responding to what you give them. So when you consistently provide nourishing foods, antioxidants, and balanced nutrition, your body gradually becomes more efficient, more resilient, and better protected against damage and disease. On the other hand, when unhealthy choices are repeated daily, even in small amounts, they slowly create stress, inflammation, and imbalance that eventually show up as fatigue, weight gain, or chronic illness. The key difference is not intensity, it is consistency, because what you do every day matters far more than what you do occasionally. Over time, these simple habits begin to compound in a way that feels almost invisible at first but becomes incredibly powerful later. Your energy levels stabilize, your digestion improves, your mind feels clearer, and your body starts to function in a way that feels lighter and more natural. You don't need to completely change your life overnight, and you don't need to follow complicated rules to see results. You just need to focus on making better choices more often than not, and allowing those choices to become part of your everyday life. This is how real, lasting health is built, not through pressure or perfection, but through patience, repetition, and small actions that quietly support your body day after day without forcing it into stress or extremes every single day. The food you choose to eat is sending signals to your body, shaping how it functions, how it feels, and how it ages over time, whether you realize it or not, because your body is constantly responding to what you give it, building itself either toward strength and vitality, or slowly moving toward weakness and disease. Most people think their future health depends on genetics or luck, but in reality, your daily choices play a much bigger role than you might imagine, especially when it comes to what you eat on a consistent basis, not just occasionally, but every single day without exception. The meals you repeat become the foundation of your health, and over time, they either support your body or slowly break it down in ways that are not immediately visible but become very clear as the years pass. When you regularly choose foods that are rich in nutrients, like fresh vegetables, healthy fats, and natural sources of protein, your body begins to function more efficiently. Your energy levels become more stable, and your systems work together in a balanced way that supports long-term health. Your heart benefits, your brain stays sharper, and your immune system becomes stronger, allowing you to resist illness more easily and recover faster when something does affect you. On the other hand, when processed foods, excessive sugar, and unhealthy fats become part of your daily routine, even in small amounts, they slowly create internal stress, leading to inflammation, fatigue, and a higher risk of serious conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline later in life. The important thing to understand is that these changes don't happen overnight. They build gradually, often without clear warning signs in the beginning, which is why many people ignore their habits until it's too late. You might feel fine today, you might not notice any immediate consequences, but your body is keeping track of every choice, storing the effects and responding in ways that will eventually show up in your health. This is why consistency matters so much more than perfection, because even small improvements in your daily diet can create a powerful shift over time, especially when those improvements are maintained without interruption. Replacing one unhealthy habit with a better one may not feel significant at first, but when repeated daily, it starts to influence your metabolism, your energy, and your overall well-being in a positive direction. Choosing water or tea instead of sugary drinks, adding more vegetables to your meals, or including healthy, our sources of protein can all contribute to a gradual transformation that becomes stronger with time. These small decisions act like building blocks, stacking on top of each other, creating a future where your body feels stronger, more capable, and more resilient. What you eat today is not just about satisfying hunger in the moment, it is an investment in how you will feel years from now, because your future health is not decided in one big moment. It is shaped quietly through the habits you repeat every day, the choices you make without thinking, and the patterns you create that become part of your lifestyle without effort.